in legendary races in the desert. History tells us that.
That's got to be race of the year. That was so much fun.
Turbo gonna throw a haymaker in 3-4 for the final time. Checkered flag is out. Shepard crosses him over.
Brandon Shepard wins. It's going to be Larson with a slider down in 1 and 2. And it's going to be another slider from Larson as he goes up in front of Pierce. It's Slide Job City at FK Ride-Ins Vado Speedway Park.
You had I don't know how many lead changes. It was just another dynamic race in the desert.
The Wild West Shootout. Be there when the sparks fly in 2025.
Well, the off-season doesn't last long. We're here, and we are live on practice night, FK Ride-Ins Vado Speedway Park. We're just south of Las Cruces, New Mexico, and just north of El Paso, Texas, for the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, the 19th running of this quote-unquote off-season classic. And as always, Dustin Jarrett here alongside my good friend, Mr. Ben Shelton. We have got modifieds on the racetrack right now as we started this practice session about 30 minutes ago. And we do as we always do, Ben. We give these guys a little bit of time to kind of get some of the slime and some of the grease off the racetrack. And we go live here for approximately 60 minutes on a free preview night for this 19th annual running of what's become one of our very favorite events.
Yeah, we're going to have about an hour live here from FK Ride-Ins Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. And right now, the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Mods presented by Rancho Milagro on the Speedway. And Gary Christian, a guy that picked up a couple of wins here at Vado last year, including one at the Wild West Shootout atop the leaderboard. And tonight, a night to get things ironed out, not just for the drivers, DJ, but for the broadcast crew, for the track staff, for all of us. We've got over 100 cars in the pit area. About 83 have got transponders on right now. I dare say there's probably about 120 or so in the pits at least, and they're going to have about 3 to 4 hours tonight to get things tuned up. And DJ, this tunes us up for 6 big rounds of racing here over the course of the next week plus.
We could not have scripted better weather here for this first weekend as well, and even next weekend looks pretty good. But I mean, highs today, getting up into the 70s. It's going to be a high of about 76 here tomorrow, and it cools off just a tick on Sunday, down to the mid 60s or so there on Sunday. We take a couple days off to go and maybe do some sightseeing, enjoy White Sands National Park, visit a few of the other locations, head down to El Paso or check out some of the sites in Old Mesilla there in Las Cruces before we head back into action on Wednesday night. Thursday is another off night, and then back at it Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here as well.
Well, that's right. I mean, a lot to see in the area, a lot to do, and today arguably the nicest day I've ever experienced here in Vado, New Mexico. Tomorrow's going to be beautiful, and Sunday as well, so if you're watching at home, come out and join us.
Today was nicer than even some of the days we've had in Phoenix in the past as well. Definitely nicer than Tucson.
It was very nice. As you see now, the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire on the Speedway. California's Ryan DeForest. They're in the 72R, Pacific Truck and Tractor entry. And again, these guys getting things ironed in tonight. About half the drivers have got transponders on, the rest don't. The 44, Christy Barnett, of course, another back-to-back Super Truck Championship here at Vado in 2024, backing that up from 2023. That Barnett Harley-Davidson MB Custom entry. Behind her, great-looking race car down in the pit area, the 12 MB of John Miller out of McKinney, Texas, the MB Customs race car. First time, as far as I know, that he has entered one of these Wild West Shootout events. And you see him on the screen rolling through turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, a few of the other drivers on the track as we become acclimated with these drivers just as much as you guys do at home as well. Joseph Swearingen. Joe Swearingen going to be one of the other drivers on the Speedway. He is out there in the 00. Now pulling on your screen. Cody Schultz behind him in the 22. Yeah.
Actually, it's going to be, Schultz going to support that race car, but it's Keenan Glasser.
There you go.
Cody Schultz did not get to make the trip down, but he said, I'm sending Keenan down. And yeah, Keenan making his debut here in the desert.
There you go.
Out of Estevan, Saskatchewan.
Have you been to Estevan Motor
I have
Speedway?
not, but I bet you have been.
Dakota Classic Mod Tour a few years back.
Good to have Keenan down here with him with us. And company out there, Dustin Smith, the 65, one of the regulars here at Vado Speedway Park. And how about first time down here? Last year's Wissota 100 champion, Midwest Mods, the 40D car, Blake Adams making his way down. 19 wins a year ago. including one on a go-kart at Emmett Indoor Speedway. Then MB Custom Adams automotive entry. And not only Blake in action, but dear old dad Buzzy Adams going to be turning some circles before the Wild West Shootouts up here as well, as he's going to be running in the modified class and that MB Customs developmental car that he and Rodney Sanders are going to share this week.
A few other drivers on the track. A good look at Greg Gorham, another one of the regulars here at FK Rod Ends Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. That was him in the 93, and Blake Adams, as you see there on the left side of your screen right now, the fastest. And how about old Christy Georges Barnett right now, second quickest in this practice session.
Also in this set, Deuce Teague in the set out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The Metalcraft Company Air Serv Heating and Cooling 02, the AOS race car. Cam Teague racing engine under the hood, as they are going to drop the checkered flag on this set, as that set of Shocker Hitch X mods presented by Border Tire will come to the checkered flag, and they're going to come to the checkered flag. DJ, the third member of our broadcast crew, is going to come to the broadcast with Trenton Berry joining us down pit side. Trenton, if you're ready, take it away.
Psych.
Just kidding. I felt like he wanted to do it, but not so much. Oh, he's got to turn his mic on. He's new.
It turns out the microphone actually works better when you turn it on. Tell you what, Trenton, you figure out how to get that microphone turned on. We are going to roll into the first hot lap session, Ben, for the late models.
Well, these guys been here a few times, but the first time on the broadcast.
The first time on the broadcast.
That's right.
Yes,
that's right.
Thank
Bryson James is going to need a push out to the Speedway. He'll get it fired up. But earlier tonight, Garrett Alberson, and you see it popping back up. My Race Pass. You can keep up with all the times. Fastest lap earlier at 13.959. But I think the racetrack's going to pick up as the night goes, DJ.
Yeah, the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. And there's a good look at the driver of the number 21X. First time here for Joe Collins out of Princeton, Minnesota. He is in the Mullins-powered Team Zero race car, the Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Air Holcomb Trucking sponsored entry. Behind him in the 82 for the first couple nights, that's going to be Eston Whistler behind the wheel, the Whistler Construction all-purpose storage sponsored entries out of Otis, Oregon. Behind him, dear old dad, Jimmy Whistler. One of the longtime supporters of this event, the Whistler Construction sponsored number 28. Other drivers on the track for this first round of, this first round that you're seeing on the broadcast, the Dirt Draft Hot Laps. For the late models in the 13, Bryson James out of Albany, Oregon. Another good year last year for him, Ben. 17 wins in that Schramm Brothers Excavating, James Gang Pizza, Lynn Benton Insurance sponsored number 13.
Oh, we got one in the fence, and that's going to be California driver down there, catching the fence down in turn 3 and 4. DJ, I didn't see what happened. Did you?
I did not either. No, I looked up and he was already in the wall, and that's the 74 of Sean DeForest. And that Souza Truck and Auto Repair, DMS Race Cars and Fabrication Sizemore Construction sponsored 74. So a tough break.
Good looking race car too.
Yeah, Sean DeForest. He got a win last year, by the way, at Marysville Speedway. There in his home state of California. Trenton Berry, you have found the on button on your microphone.
Hey guys, I'm new here. I got a little rusty in my 15 days. So glad to be here with you from the Vado Speedway Park. We're pushing the boundaries of this thing a little bit as well. So going to have a few interviews throughout the course of the evening here as we get everybody tuned up and primed for the main events coming up here a little bit later on.
Well, pushing boundaries is what Trenton Berry does best. So a few other drivers on the track. There's a look at Bryson James. We just talked about him. Behind him, coming off corner number 4, welcome to Vado Speedway Park, Bloomer, Wisconsin's Chad Mader, a 4-time winner last year in that MB Customs race car. Good looking race car as always for Chad Mader, the Sabre Plumbing, Heating and Air, Underground Systems Incorporated, Juleson's Auto Services sponsored number 55C. He'll be followed on the racetrack by the driver of, is that the, I believe that might be the 53M of Jason Miles behind him. It's a Cornet-powered Black Diamond race car for, there's a good look at Jason Miles. The 92 Graphics MJM Excavating Buster Roberts Logging sponsored 53M for Jason Miles. A few other drivers on the track in this first hot lap session. Behind the wheel, the 81. I got to see which 81 that is. And that is the plain 81. And that'll be Jason Riggs out of College Grove, Tennessee. So 2 81s here this weekend. Jack Riggs' car, at least this first night, and I think maybe a few others as well. We're going to have Mac Daddy Dale McDowell behind the wheel. of that entry. So again, as Ben mentioned, it's the first hot lap session you're seeing here on the racetrack. We've had some before, as there's a look on the left-hand side of your screen where they currently stand. Now again, worth mentioning as well, not every driver has a transponder on his or her car here this evening, so you may see some drivers on the racetrack, but their time's not on the left side of your screen. That would be the reason, Ben, not everybody electing to run a transponder here tonight.
No, it's not. And I think at last count, around 46 dirt track bank super late models in the pit area, and a puff of smoke coming out of that 21X car. And that is a tough break for a driver that's really making his open debut here tonight. Yeah. Joel Collins out of Princeton, Minnesota, and smoke coming out from that Team Zero race car. They're just here to race for the weekend. They got to head back home. That Sabre Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling entry. And, of course, a driver that's done a little bit of Wissota late model action as well as some super stock action, but really not much in the open end of things. And want to debut here tonight. Some smoke, hopefully nothing too serious. He'll head back to the pit area. Great-looking race cars. We continue here, practice night. And, DJ, tomorrow, FloRacing, 3 o'clock Mountain Time. We will be live the opening round of the 19th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. 3 o'clock tomorrow, and we kick it off with the Penske 50 presented by Schaefer Oil for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. $25,000 on the line for the first time ever in the opener. And then we bookend it. We call it the Penske 25 to 25 presented by Schaefer. We'll have a $25,000 to win. Of course, the Rio Grande Waste Services 50 presented by Shaw Trucking, the final night on Sunday. Do my math. Sunday, January 12th. Man, these days are running together. It's hard to believe it's
whatever the Sunday is after the one coming up. Yeah, that one. By the way, it's 3 p.m. local time we get underway tomorrow. Yes. If you want to know what time that is where you live, Google is your friend. There's a good look at the number 19 out of Rochester, Minnesota, Dustin Sorensen. He's the defending World of Outlaws Elite Model Series Rookie of the Year in the heavy hitch Sorensen and Sorensen Painting. Paulson Rock Products, Altenburg Construction sponsored number 19. Behind him is going to be the second generation driver, the number 7. That's A.J. Sharpenstein. A.J. Sharpenstein, the Texas native in that Klein-powered MB Customs race car, the My Race Rack Gress Motorsports Iron Race Graphics sponsored entry. There's a good look at the 80XX behind him, and that's going to be Palestine, Texas, Jason Langford.
First time here?
Yes, first time here for the 80XX. And he will be followed by, is that what's one of the 16s? And I believe that is going to be Chris Hennigan, yes, out of Marshall, Texas.
Big year for him again. And, you know, I think it's a bad year for Chris if he wins less than 15 races. He had 17 wins last year, now back-to-back Arclatex modified track champion in the Arclatex Speedway Mullins Racing Engine CDR race car number 16 out of Marshall, Texas. C&D Bonding green flag is back out. Also on the Speedway, first time, at least that I can remember in a long time, to the Wild West Shootout. Rick Beebe out of Shawnee, Kansas in cart number 22. The Blackout Motorsports chassis, Mullins powered Rick Beebe heating and air conditioning, cart 22, good looking race car. And I believe part of that operation there with the Blackout Motorsports team also in making their way out in this set, having trouble getting up to speed. That's going to be one of the Gallardos, and I think that's going to be Peyton Gallardo. First time we've seen him on the Speedway tonight. Gallardo Construction GR2 race car. And how about OTP, Terry Phillips, National Dirt Late Model Hall of Famer on your screen right now. Feature winner here last year. A little bit of smoke coming out of the 75, though. And the Bloodline race car, 6-time winner last year. As we said, one of those came here at Vado.
Yeah, a year ago, it was, can anybody beat Kate Dillard, right? And only 2 guys could, Terry Phillips and Gary Christian, as well. As you see the 127 there on your screen, that's Peyton Phillips out of Chanute, Kansas. It's a Bills built race car for him. Yes,
so
sir.
2 blowouts on the trailer, and they ripped the door off the motorhome that covers up the generator. He said that he's never been so happy to finally be at a racetrack. And how about Ricardo Olagi Jr. in the 18, one of the hard chargers here at FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park each and every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to see Ricardo Olagi Jr. He's from El Paso. Glad to have him back with us. The Custom Van Reynolds Ritchie's Auto Center sponsored entry behind him. Let's see who they pull up next on your screen.
I think that's Sorensen out there behind him. But David Tanner, the D25, and he's become a mainstay of the event.
You know what? I didn't even see him in the pits, but I left him on my list because I knew.
You want to know a funny thing about this? I did not either. I don't know where the hell he's parked at because I didn't see him either. So
down there, he's got to be down there close to Rodney Sanders and that group, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of cars in that area.
Gil Murphy and that group, yeah.
Yeah, the Wichita Tank Racing 87 automotive entry. And how about that? Dustin Sorensen to the top of the leaderboard, DJ, as we take a look there at the screen. And again, you can follow along in my race pass at home. Also, we've got audio in the app tonight. We're kind of testing around with that. We're going to play around with that throughout the weekend. And it's right there. You can keep up with all the times and the entries. Everybody asks, where's this entry list? Well, guys, we don't have it. We do not have a true pre-entry. And I can tell you right now, we've got 46 supers in the pit area. At one point, I think I had 61 supers committed to the event.
Oh, my.
There's a few more we're going to have come and go. And that doesn't include guys like Dale McDowell, who's going to jump behind the wheel. Steve Hufkowski. He's going to be, yeah, because his son's got to go back and go to school. So we've got about 48 to 49 drivers in the pit area, about 46 cars. And we just don't have a true entry list. And that's why we don't want to put them out, because we don't want to mislead anybody. And then we had some guys like Morgan Bagley. He got the flu. Rusty Schlenk got banged up at the Dome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There's Nate Ranke. Talk about mainstays here at the Wild West Shootout.
What about the year he had?
What kind of year did he have? Tell me. Tell me about
He had a big year. 10 wins last year. The year before, he had 1 win, and he got the I-94 EMR Speedway Track Championship, the Lisbon, North Dakota driver there in the Lisbon Smiles 71K, the SSR race car. As behind him, drivers continue to make their way out. We got a lot of new faces here this year. That's exciting.
Yes,
Shane Bailey in this set in car number 7, making his way out to the Speedway out of Kearney, Missouri. And his crew chief, J.C. Crockett, down there. J.C. turned wrenches here last year for Forrest Trent and the late model. I understand Forrest Trent was coming back this year.
Oh.
Got a big contract for his business this week and had to stay back at home. I get it, man. You got to stay and work.
Absolutely.
The James Down LLC, Downs Cattle Company, Schaefer Specialized Lubricants, Yeoman-powered CDR race car for 6-time winner last year, Shane Bailey, and he was the Bethany Fairgrounds Outlaw Late Model Track champion last year in that number 7 car. Not in that car, but the driver of that car
Yes,
was.
and I talked to Shane Denner. Man, it's good-looking cars. I'm a sucker for orange and blue, man.
Well, you're going to like the one behind it then.
Oh, am I? Well, who's behind him?
Well, you got the 45 car making his way around out there. Great. The 345. Okay, so that's the car. That's Jimmy Downs, and he hides the 3. He's making you work for it.
Oh.
Jimmy Downs out of Maysville, Missouri. Oh, my. Okay. GRT race car and a Yeoman racing engine for Jimmy Downs. There's a handful of 3-digit cars that have hit the 3rd number because we don't struggle enough, DJ.
So here's what I'm doing. Jimmy Downs on my list is getting moved up from 345 to
45
now. Yeah, he's up to 45 right now. Hey, there's Jake Smith. Another good year for him in the 21. Glad to have him back with us after a year off in the Corbett Trucking, J. Smith Trucking, DRTM Trucking, RLJ Trucking.
Move over, Chris Simpson.
Yeah, exactly. Essex and Jarrett Logistics, number 21. That's Jake Smith. A few others there on the racetrack. There's another 3-digit car with a little number on it, the 562 Craig Walker.
That's right.
Out of Roswell, Minnesota. Move over aliens.
Yeah, move over all the aliens. The La Cueva Pet Care Center. We have more pet care centers on race cars here this week than I've ever seen. And hang on.
Yes.
Craig Walker almost needed to go to the pet care centers. He was facing the concrete. He gets it back together. Also in this set,
Cody King in the 510, another 3-digit number.
All the 3-digit numbers. Cody King, 9-time winner last year out of Fanshawe, Oklahoma.
I thought he was from Fanshawe, Oklahoma.
Yeah, that on your bucket list is, a lot of 3-digit car numbers and a great racetrack here tonight. Again, Chad Bowman, Lewis Breed, and the staff getting things dialed in for the weekend. And tomorrow, the high's going to be 76. It's going to be 76, man. It's supposed to be like 65 on Sunday. Wednesday's going to be cold. I ain't going to lie to you. It's going to be cold, and then it warms back up for next weekend. And again, all the action's going to be here on FloRacing. This is a preview here tonight for about an hour, and we're going to go live tomorrow, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This is the only time I'm going to say it for you, 4 p.m. Central. And you got to do the math the rest of the weekend. We will go live here tomorrow.
Google it like a normal person.
Punch it in the Google, as Steve Gigas says. Punch it
in, man. Punch it in.
Well, the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars making their way back out. Preston Luckman, fresh off a 7-win season last year. The Coos Bay, Oregon driver will lead this set out. The Quadell Industries Three Rivers Casino entry, the Pro Power Racing Engine Rocket XR1.
You missed my favorite, Q2I Archery. Being the big hunter that you are, I'm surprised that you missed that.
I have
the only thing I'm hunting right now is for food.
Yeah, I am food's gonna be very real tonight. The 15 of Clay Stuckey on the Speedway, 3 wins a year ago, and I'm picking it right now. Clay Stuckey's gonna have a huge year in 2025. The Lucas Oil Advanced Powder Coating, Mooring Transport entry, the Clements Powered Black Diamond, 10th in last year's Castrol Play-Again, and Comp Camp Super Dirt Series standings for Clay Stuckey in car 15.
And there's Mac Daddy. That's gonna be Dale McDowell.
Oh, he's in it tonight.
Well, I don't know who's in it.
He and Jack are gonna share the car. I bet both of them will practice tonight. If you can tell if that's him in there from me, you're a better man than me.
That is either Jack Riggs or Dale McDowell behind the wheel of the Riggs Fiber Dude Wipes VP Racing Fuels sponsored number 81J Longhorn race car. It's one of the two. We'll see behind that driver. Who else do we have? Stormy Scott. Yeah, good to see Stormy Scott back with us. The only Scott brother racing with us this weekend in that Clemens powered Category 5 race car, the Mesilla Valley Transportation Brancho Milagro Eagle Moon Hemp Farm sponsored entry. That's Stormy Scott.
That's right. Brennan Willard in the 3 right behind him out of Lebanon, Missouri, making his debut here at the Wild West Shootout. The Willard Asphalt, Willard Cattle, Scott Bailey powered Longhorn by Mikey Kyle, 3W. He races into your screen right there. Brand new Longhorn by Mikey Kyle. Working off of turn number 4, car number 4P, Richard Pappenhausen out of Chico, California. The Dave Pappenhausen Construction, Kevin Scherer Designs Longhorn 4P.
So behind him is going to be a driver. You're not going to see a number on that side of the race. Oh, no, I stand corrected.
It's on the other side, but not this side.
You got Pappenhausen. Did you get Jason
I did.
Richard Pappenhausen. Yes, I keep wanting to call it. I keep trying to mix Richard Pappenhausen and Jason Papich. But there's a 69 right there. That is the Austin Kirkpatrick-owned AK race car. Ross Bales out of Clover, South Carolina, going to be behind the wheel of the infamous Barbarino's Pizza and Asian Spa, Remington Firearms, Piper airplane sponsor, number 69. That's Ross Bales.
I do understand that the Asian Spa part of the business has come under fire recently, but they do still have the pizza and racing engines.
I talked to AK. They're hoping to get the Asian Spa portion reopened in the next few weeks. He said it's a very, very, very serious business matter. It's very serious.
It's a new year. Well, that is a prototype car that Austin Kirkpatrick has put together, and he said, I want to put somebody in this race car that does not have tendencies, that is not partial one way or the other. So Ross Bales will be in that car all week. The 11K also out there, John Kirby out of Russellville, Arkansas. You see the one on your screen of Tyler Erb Turbo. Big year last year for Tyler Erb, 19 wins en route to the Summer Nationals title, and a lot of big end of the year wins, including at the Gumbo Nationals, the Fall Classic, and the National 100.
Yep, absolutely. He's become a mainstay here at the Wild West Shootout. That Best Performance Motorsports number 1 is.
How about Fito?
We have got. Is that
Fito.
Daddy Fito? I saw Fito. I saw all the Gallardos down there earlier.
We've got Gallardos, we've got Smiths,
we've got
Ortegas.
Ortegas, yes. We got Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds presented by Rancho Milagro, and that is Fito Gallardo there in the G2 race car, the G17 on your screen. Behind him, is that going to be Carlos Amata Jr. in the 65, or is that Tyler Davis in the 65?
No,
it is Carlos Amata Jr. Trenton Berry. You had something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Amata Sr. there, or Amata Jr. in the 65, 2 cars back, Amata Sr. in the 54.
There you go. Is that the 3J? I did not have him. Is that Josh?
That's Josh Kane.
Yeah,
double
Josh
to
Kane.
double, dude.
Well,
he had 42 wins last year.
He had an okay year last year. I mean, if you like winning races and finishing well.
You know what? Did not have him on bingo card. He didn't race here or at all last year. How about Carlos Amata Sr.?
Yes,
I missed that one. I'm sorry. I was talking to Robbie Johnston, but great to see Senior back with us.
Yeah, absolutely. I talked to Carlos Amata Jr. down there. I said, dear old dad going to run. He said,
That's
yeah.
fantastic.
He's bringing the race car out here for a few races this week. So, yep, good to see Carlos Amata back out. There's Carlos Amata Jr. And I asked Carlos Amata Jr. I said, man, are you still on the high from Gateway? He's like, oh, he goes, that is such a cool event. He said, it's so cool. He said that I get to do Gateway and this back-to-back. He said, 2 of my favorite races the entire year.
How cool was it? He was in that, was it the Cinco de Domo? What was his car?
Yeah, something
the Cinco
like
de
that.
Dome.
Yes,
Yeah, it was a fantastic wrap. He had the whole Day of the Dead look on there.
So there on the left side of your screen is the 20 with the little 4 in front of it. Yeah, that's going to be the MB Customs house car.
Yes.
Rodney Sanders behind the wheel of it for the first part of the Wild West Shootout. Next weekend, Kevin Buzzy Adams going to be behind the wheel.
That's right, and they're a contender for the Dirt Pro Contractors Best in Show, each division, the best Western themed graphics. Buzzy Adams wanted to be very clear. He goes, if we win that award, I drove it last, so I get the damn award. So I thought that was funny, but great looking race car. You see the number 88 car of Nathan Smith on your screen. And again, one of the hard chargers every week here at Vado Speedway Park. The Chevrolet and Viva Chevrolet, no longer the Viva Auto Group. It's now Viva Chevrolet, Mesilla Valley Transportation, BRZ investment entry for Nathan Smith in car number 88. And to give you an idea that we have no idea how many cars are in the pits, there's about 10 cars on the track right now. 4 of them have transponders. So most of the guys did not sign in. I'd say, DJ, probably 120 to 130 cars. And I think that's going to be Cole Queensland in car number 20 on your screen.
That is Cole Queensland in the 20 on my screen.
And how about Cole getting back behind the wheel? And that Longhorn by Sorensen Action Race Engine, Meyerhofer Crane and Rigging, number 20.
Yeah, and I talked to Cole Queensland down there at Grand Meadow, Minnesota. Of course, a longtime promoter at the Deer Creek Speedway. And he said, it's been, he ran about 1 race end of the year last year and said that, he said, I just got the bug, felt like getting back in it again. Trenton Berry, you know the Queenslands well. You know a lot of the drivers out there well in the modified division, my friend.
Oh, yeah. That car right there is the Longhorn that Dustin Sorensen raced last year sparingly. So Dustin has a brand new one that's out here. It only had a test session on it. So Cole's running that one. That car ran very well last year. I asked Cole, I said, hey, you ready for this? How much is the same? How much is different? He said, man, I've been out so long, it feels like it's all different right now.
Well, it's cool to see him back out there. And between Cole and we've got a lot of new faces out here in both mod divisions. And Trenton, you were giving us some cheat sheet notes earlier. And this is going to be a fun week out here in the desert. We could see some new faces down there in Hoker Trucking Victory Lane.
Yeah, it is. And I think it really speaks to the success of the event here, the notoriety of the Vado Speedway Park as well, guys. I mean, we've all been here since the very beginning of this event. And man, it's just taken off like gangbusters. And I don't know about you guys, but people ask me specifically about this event all throughout my travels throughout the course of the season. So that means this is just one of those events that really resonates, and it's awesome.
Yeah, it is, and it's about growth. And I tell you what, the next set is led out by Dickie Gorham in car 3 out of Las Cruces, New Mexico. The GRT by AOS Precision Engineering Race Engines entry. Also in this set, first time that we have had him here, and he's only going to be here, I believe, for this weekend because he's got to get back and go to school. The 19 TB of Theron Pierce out of Seminole, Oklahoma. The Harris chassis with a Pierce power plant under the hood.
Another kid got to go back to school. These kids.
These whippersnappers in their education. Now, good for him.
Absolutely. Who else do we have out here in this group? Who are they going to pull up on the screen for us next? Let's see.
Inquiring minds want to know. We're going to see who we get as they come back past the Rio Grande Way Services start zone. And we talked about Ryan DeForest earlier, the Livermore, California driver. We got the 115 out there. That will be Bodie Parker, 3 wins last year, the Bell, Arizona driver. He's going to pull into the infield. We cursed him immediately. We talked about Blake Adams, the Cameron, Wisconsin driver in the 40D. Big season last year, double-digit wins. And again, this is the Shocker Hitch X Mods presented.
Blake Adams, Cameron, Wisconsin.
Something like that. All the words were there.
Close. It was, just not in the right order. That's okay. It's a new year. We haven't done this for 3.5 weeks. So again, Shocker Hitch X Mods presented by Border Tire, and as has been the case for the last several years, we've got Arizona Differential by Nate on board for the possible X Mod bonus. As we appreciate them coming on board, as they have again for the last several years in this event. So again, a lot of these drivers, those of you watching at home during this live look-in, this free practice session, we're almost halfway through right now. A lot of these drivers do have transponders on the cars, some of them opting not to run transponders on the race cars. A lot of drivers that are running new paint schemes, a lot of drivers we're familiar with, and as always, a lot of locals here, Ben, especially in this X-Mod division. Now, for the folks watching at home, they say, what's an X-Mod? Well, if you put your traditional B-Mod, a Sport Mod, all in a blender, right?
Oh, my.
An X-Mod is kind of what you spit out. There you go.
And you pour it into a cup. Yeah, no, there's a lot of different disciplines, and you just have to declare whichever your rule package is, whether you're a USRA B mod, your Wasota Midwest mod, your sport mod, and then you come down here and throw them all together, and we try to keep it as even as we can. You see Jaime Torres on your screen there, the 44 JT out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the Chalo's Woodfire Grill 44 JT.
One of the big differences, I was talking to a couple of teams back there that's kind of even things out a little more this year. So the local division here is a B mod, or they've actually started calling them X mods here locally the last couple of years. They used to be able to run a 5-inch spoiler on those race cars. That's not the case anymore. They're down to a 2-inch spoiler on those race cars now. I talked to one team in the pit area that said that really helps even things out. You wouldn't think that it makes a big difference on an X mod or B mod or sport mod on a track this size, but it does, as we have got the next wave of Dirt Track Bank super late models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars making their way out on the track. And Ben, they're going to be led out by a first-time competitor in the Wild West Shootout.
15 years old, Michael Hukovsky out of Corcoran, Minnesota, the MB Custom Sabre Heating, Plumbing and Heating, Oil Air Products, number 88. And DJ behind him in car 18, a veteran off and on of the Wild West Shootout. Chase Younghands one win a year ago in the modified. He's out of Manhattan, Kansas. The Clements-powered Rocket XR1, Bozard Ford, Otis Oil Company, Paulson Rock Products, and Stussy Construction, along with Younghands Ranches now sponsor on that race car.
I saw that. How about that? What does Chase Younghands have?
You probably don't want to know.
Okay.
All
right.
Yep.
Well, the driver behind him is going to be another first-timer here in the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models at the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, and that's going to be the 74X out of Bakersfield, California, the 35-year-old. That is Ethan Dodson in the ASD Motorsport BK Grading and Paving Penske Shocks H&A Development sponsor 74X. Again, Ethan Dodson, 8 wins a year ago for the driver that recently declared he is going to run for the World of Outlaws Rookie of the Year.
He did, and sneaking past him is going to be Jake Nill out of Omaha, Nebraska, the Scott Bailey Racing Engine Rocket Chassis.
Ethan says, no.
Not so fast.
Yeah.
The Todd's Auto Body and Glass, Joyce Agronomics, Select Auto, Al Humphrey Racing, Downtown Recycling entry, 1 win a year ago. They came with the Tri-State Late Models up at Interstate Speedway back on August 11th.
That's a fun track, by the way. Shout out to Chase Alves there at the Interstate Speedway. Behind him is going to be the driver of the number 49. That is Jake Tim out of Winona, Minnesota, the Gorilla Mill Herco, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Stones Machinery. Sponsored number 49 is, boy, we have got him just barreling off into the corner, Colin Weinbarger, who's run with us the last couple years here out of Corbett, Oregon. 16 wins a year ago for the Schramm Brothers Excavating Checker Flag Asphalt Clements-powered Longhorn. That's Colin Weinbarger in the 14S.
Carson Brown out there as well, the New London, North Carolina driver, the Kill-powered Longhorn. 1 win a year ago. And he's going to have a busy year. They're going to be putting a lot of miles out there. Randall Edwards turning the wrenches in that Pay Cafe, EBB Logistics, CBS Brand Connect 28B. And right now, racetrack's pretty sporty, DJ, as there's some other notables out there. Brandon Shepard right now running $25,000 to win Dirt Draft Hot Laps is what it looks like in that B5.
And he looks really good in a freshly wrapped Valvoline B5 race car as B. Shep, your now 5-time World of Outlaws Late Model Series champ, as my good friend James Essex would say, Brandon Shepard out of New Berlin, Illinois.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, hammer down. He's going to go after Outlaw title number 6. The plan right now for the driver of the B5 as he races to the inside of Kent Rosevear, the Yuma, Arizona driver. Cornet Racing Engine, Longhorn Chassis, Protect Fleet Service, Jake Meadow Racing, and Gordy Speed Center, all sponsors. And right now, Brandon Shepard rocking and rolling, turning some of the fastest laps of the night, a 14.308, his fastest lap.
My, that is good. How about Colin Weinbarger, by the way, laying down together? Remember, Colin Weinbarger was fast here last year, too, but he was really good.
Well, and you talked about it. It's really cool how these Oregon guys are all making the trip down. Justin Duty is actually turning wrenches on Bryce and James Carr all week. They're waiting on their new hauler to come in, and the Duty family, though, they've now become a marketing partner with the event. They've got the Don Frank Floors Heyday Payday. We're going to be talking more about that tomorrow, and Trenton is going to be possibly making a fan and a driver very happy tomorrow night, depending on how that goes. But a lot of great marketing partners here. And you know what? People give us crap about how many sponsor plugs we do. Well, guess what? Right. You can't pay $350,000 in January at an event that, candidly, we don't get the biggest crowds out here. We have amazing sponsors. We have a great streaming partner. We were able to do a lot, and we appreciate everybody that supports us. And I'm going to tell you, if there's ever a weekend to come to this event, it is this one, because the weather is looking fantastic. As DJ, we are going to shift gears back, and I think taking a look at this. What do we got? We're gonna actually, these are gonna be A mods.
Boy,
So we will stay with the Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire mods presented by Rancho Milagro. And I'm telling you, man,
And
there are a lot of new faces in this field.
I was just going to say, there are some drivers that have pulled in that have apparently pulled in since you and I came up to the booth about an hour ago or so. So
It's been a steady flow of cars coming in, but not into the registration booth. So if we didn't catch them earlier. Now, the 12 that we've got on your screen, that is going to be, I believe, Mike Rosales there in the Hacienda Carpet Outlet cart number 12. And, man, he's another one to watch anytime you come here. There was 3 number 12s all in a row parked over there in the pit area earlier, and I think they were all in the A-Mod division.
Hey, what could possibly go wrong?
What could go wrong with that? So we'll get them sorted out right now. I think we have a few X-Mods out there, which only further complicates the situation.
I believe that 96C behind him is not registered, but man, that looks like Carson. It looks like Carson Ditch's car.
Yeah.
You know, the Marana, Arizona driver. I'm not 100% positive.
You can't swear to it.
I can't swear to it, but it looks like it says Ditch above the number. I'm going to say that's Carson Ditch in the 96C. That 32 back there has snuck in on me as well.
I did get.
No, I don't think you did.
He might have been on the back row. Well, we're just having all kinds of fun right now.
Yeah, our pets' heads are falling off.
Actually, I have one in my notepad. This is what happened.
There you go. Well, here's what I can tell you. The 721 is Troy Gemmel out of Ponca City, Oklahoma.
How about Max Sadler in the 32, DJ?
Not Max Blair.
No, Max Sadler out of Springerville, Arizona.
There you go.
This is fun tonight.
It is.
87 pages of notes. 4 of them have gone into the spreadsheet. What could go wrong?
How about the 64? We know who that is. That's Casey. I said Jay Sale. It's Casey Fowler. Jay Sale in another 64. I don't think with us here this weekend.
We got
Casey
Troy
Fowler.
Gemmel in the 721.
Got him. Yep. Casey Fowler out of Grand Saline, Texas. There's Rick Ortega in the 24. I don't think Xavier Ortega is going to be running here this weekend.
No, he's got a new car, not quite ready. Behind Ortega, from the Racing Ortegas, we have the 99 of Terry Tipton, the Duncan, Arizona driver. Another longtime runner, whether it's Tucson, Phoenix, Queen Creek, whatever. Here at Vado, Terry Tipton supports this event. We really appreciate him and the Tipton Construction MB Custom number 99.
Absolutely. I see Jake Bowles out there, another one of the regulars here at FK Rod-End's Vado Speedway Park. 4th in the track points in 2024. There's a good look at the 16K. I believe that's downtown Randy Brown out of Chowchilla, California. In what is traditionally the Brown Racing DRC Plumbing State Water Heater sponsored entry. There's Jake Bowles in the USA Insurance J7.
The 71. And now, Chad Melton told me he's going to be 710. Then it looks like 71. It's 71 on the car, but he's out of Mineral Wells, Texas. The Harris Chassis Mid-State Machine Pet Western Animal Hospital. Now, get ready for this one. Best sponsor in the pit area. The Pet Western Inn and Suites by Meowiot.
Yeah, and so
Meowiot,
yes, and it's not open yet. They're just finishing up. I talked to Chad. I see what you did there. I talked to Chad Melton in the pit area about. That's a good-looking race car, by the way. It's some old school Hudson O'Neill vibes on that. But he said they're almost ready to open. He said we're tidying up just a few little things on the back end. But the Pet Western Inn and Suites presented by Meowiot should be open within the next few weeks. He said.
Well, if things didn't get more complicated, I think we're now going to the X-Mod division. We can't keep up. I mean, this is...
well, there's another. That has got to be the other Rosales.
Now, I will tell you, that
right?
12 is going to be Ray Rosales.
Oh.
Jay Rosales. I said Ray's. Jay Rosales out of Las Cruces. And that's a CDR race car, a Beast Racing engine, the Hacienda Carpet and Tile Truck Country number 12. For Jay Rosales. We need one more 12 in the pit area, DJ.
Yeah, there's only 1,600.
Now, I would say, and I'm going to say this again, and they're kind of getting all mixed together. Jay's actually running A-Mod.
Jay is, okay.
Yep.
Huh. Well.
Yep. But you look out there and you have the 345 of Jimmy Downs on your screen that is an X-Mod. You know what? We're all mods.
Yes.
We all count.
That's a 45 to me. Sorry, Jimmy. The Maysville, Missouri driver.
How about Scott Benz? He's in this set. We know he's in the Shocker Hitch X Mods, the proprietor of Shocker Hitch and a great marketing partner with the event. Scott Benz. He said this is the year of the comeback, is what he told me in the pit area.
How about that?
And he's going to need to come back. They just had a family of 13 down in Orlando for like 10 days, and he said they stimulated the economy, and he's got to win some money this week.
Well, there you go. Maybe you ought to go to the casino with Christy George's Barnett.
She did not go bad for her, I can tell you that. We talked about also in this set, the number 22 on your screen, Keenan Glasser, 4 wins a year ago, and he won at his home track there in Estevan, Saskatchewan. He won at McLean County Speedway, Williston Basin as well. All wins for that driver. And meanwhile, we got a spinner, and dare I say, a Midwest sheet metal caution for our buddy Chris Davis, watching back in Springfield, Missouri.
Yet another number 12. Is that Justin Allen, maybe?
No.
Okay.
The amount of 12s in the pit area.
Are you sure that's not Justin Allen?
I don't think so. No,
Okay.
no, Justin Allen's in the 33.
He was in a 12 last year.
Yeah, he's 33 this year.
I mean,
What could go wrong?
Why not?
I'm going to give you full disclosure. That 12 car I did not see in the pit area. As how about this pupper's checking it out? Oh,
Look at that.
get that
best-
puppy some nachos.
That's a little Aussie.
Well, look
there.
at that face. You think that dog wants to watch from the press box?
Throw that dog a ball. Throw that dog a frisbee.
There's John Miller in the 12 MB.
Another 12.
That's right, out of McKinney, Texas, the Wichita Tank Racing JNS fabrication entry. I'm going to go to there tomorrow, and I'm just going to give some guys some $100 bills to get their numbers off 12. It's out of control.
I think you need to start walking by with duct tape. Put an X on one. Well, that 10 I don't have on. I did not even see that car in the pit area.
That's Brian Bennett. He runs with us each year here.
There you go.
Car number 10.
Tularosa, New Mexico.
That's right, the Shaw
There you
race
go.
car. The 75 we saw a minute ago, Jeremy Lacoe, driver that came here last year, back with us out of Lincoln, Arkansas, the Lacoe Automotive Repair Hughes race car. The 96 on the Speedway, I think.
Victor Barraza, I bet.
Victor, yes.
I think it's Victor Barraza. Another regular here. He's out of El Paso. The FK Rod-Ends Vado Speedway Park. There's one without a number on the side of it. Who's that one, Ben?
It's going to be a 12. 10 to 1 odds. It's going to be a number 12 before it's all said and done.
I will give you $100 if you go duct tape a 12 on the side of that race car.
And we'll just go 121, old school Anthony Burrows.
We got about 20 minutes or so left here in this free broadcast of practice. We do it every year. We go live for roughly an hour or so here at the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. We appreciate everyone that is watching at home. And again, you can get, it's just an incredible deal to get a year of FloRacing. And you get well over 1,000 races, be it Castrol FloRacing Night in America, which we're going to be talking about that series and their schedule here in just a few days. You've got high limit racing. You've got the revitalized All-Star Sprints. You've got USAC. You've got Mars late models and the entire Lucas Oil late model dirt series season and a whole lot more at FloRacing. If you're watching at home, we appreciate it. And there's another Wild West Shootout first timer from my neck of the woods out of Jackson, Ohio. That'll be Seth Daniels.
Yeah, that's right. And the S21, one win a year ago. They came at Charlie Vest Atomic Speedway, the Wilson Excavating Rhine-powered rocket, second in the Valvoline American Late Model Series Ironman standings last year to Rusty Schlenk. As we said, Rusty was supposed to be here, but his ribs are still a little banged up from the dome, and he hated to have to sit it out, but not able to make it. And behind of Seth Daniels, the 78 car of Steve Stoltz, the driver out of Peoria, Arizona, the Clements-powered Longhorn Dirt Pro Incorporated Alpine Stars Mobile Medical Center sponsors on the 78S, sponsoring the Dirt Pro Incorporated Best in Show. And right now, Garrett Albertson having a little trouble down the front straightaway, might need a push in car 58.
Remember, he had trouble. He got sideways at the end of the back straightaway there in a hot lap session earlier as well. So they'll get him.
There we go.
He's got the fire rebuild underneath the hood of his race car. How about at the end of, there's Garrett Albertson, by the way. Titan Industries, by the way, and Cheap Cars on that race car. He's also added another new sponsor, Dickey's Doghouse, by the way, in Indiana. I know. How about the 10 rolling down the front straightaway right now? First time with us here at the Wild West Shootout out of Eatonton, Georgia. That's going to be Garrett Smith racing with us in the Terminal Maintenance and Construction Atlanta Heating and Cooling Longhorn sponsored number 10. Following him, rolling into turn number 1 as he got him stacked up over there as he get a little bit of debris off the racetrack. The yellow number 28, Sammy Mars. Boy, another good year for Sammy Mars last year. Been 9 wins on the year for the Menominee, Wisconsin driver, and that Deppy Enterprises, Vite, TL Signs Plumbing, Mike Sell Insurance Agency, Army Contractors sponsored number 28 for the 20-year-old.
And the number 97 out there, Kate Dillard, 15 wins a year ago. 5 of those came this week, 4 in the mod, 1 in the late model last year. And he is in SS Fishing and Reynolds, Joel's Auto Vado Sales, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Clements Power to Longhorn, 5th in last year's World of Outlaws Late Model Series standings. Behind him in car 82. That car is going to be shared between Ian and Eston Whistler. I think Eston's going to be in the car the first 2 nights of the mini-series. His brother Ian will be in the number 82 the rest of the week. Also, Mike Marlar. How about the look on that 157, DJ?
I like it. I like it a lot. We're going to get him up on the screen. Mike Marlar in the gold 157. Now there it is, and man, I tell you what, that thing, it's really hard to tell there, but that thing, when the light hits it right, or either the lights at the racetrack or the sun, man, that thing really popped. That Greg Bruning, Skyline Motorsports Quick Supply Company sponsored number 157, a 2-time Wild West Shootout champion.
That is a beautiful car. Right behind him, I believe that's going to be Jack Riggs, the Owensville, Tennessee driver. We talked about him earlier. The 58 of Garrett Albertson, we touched on him. I'll tell you what, a really sharp race car, and it's great to see him back with us, rolling off into turn 3. The 10N of Rob Sanders off of turn 4 out of Bakersfield, California. Long-time runner at the Wild West Shootout, and kind of stepped away from late model racing for a while back after it. The 10N, the Pro Power Racing Engine Longhorn West Coast boring entries. Get a little look from the speed cam at the flag stand, and oh no, we lost the flag stand cam right there suddenly. The 81, and actually I said that was Jack Riggs out there, and that is going to be Jason Riggs in the 81, the Riggs Fiber Longhorn. Clements Power under the hood, first time here for Jason Riggs.
Yeah, Jack Riggs was here, was it 2 years ago? He blew the motor?
4 laps for practice night. He got into the wall down at
got
turn
into the wall,
1.
that's right.
Had to go from Illinois to Vado, New Mexico to China Grove, North Carolina, the conventional trip.
Yeah.
There's Rob Sanders. I tell you what, Rob is, again, DJ, one of those guys, and you know it, back to the Tucson days, just a mainstay of this event, and it's cool to see Rob back with us.
Absolutely. The West Coast Boring, Mystique Tanning, and Salon HSR sponsored Longhorn race car, as we're going to send that session to Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models back to the pit area, and we've got yet another number 12 rolling on the Speedway. And I tell you what, we're going to go ahead as they send another group of modifieds out for a hot lap session. We're going to go ahead, thank some of the marketing partners that are making this free practice a possibility. When we come back, we'll show a few more rounds of practice here from FK Rod Ends, Vado Speedway Park in Las Cruces, New Mexico. You're watching it all live on FloRacing.
Welcome back to FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. This is the practice night for the 19th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. As we continue here, we're going to go live another 10 or 15 minutes. This sneak peek preview here tonight. Tomorrow, as DJ and I've talked about, will be the opening round, 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Will be cars on track. We'll go live at 2:45 Mountain Standard Time. That's 3:45 Central tomorrow with the first of 6 rounds, and it starts with the Penske 50 presented by Schaefer Oil. $25,000 on the line tomorrow night for the 50 lapper. New promotion here as part of the Penske 25 to 25 presented by Schaefer, bookending this mini-series with $25,000 to win, $1,000 to start events. And DJ, a lot of other money added as well. We'll have the Weirs Championship finale for the mods. The final Sunday, that's $3,000 to win. The most those guys have raced for in a while. We got a lot of extra money on the line. There's Arizona differential by Nate. 4 more for this Shocker Hitch X Mod division, where if you can win 4 more features, you pick up a $2,500 bonus. And being candid, we don't have the bonus in the super late models and the mods this year because, well, while Bobby Pierce and Kate Dillard didn't quite claim them in the late models and the mods respectively, they got close enough. The premium was going to be so crazy for the insurance. We said, you know what, we're going to take the money we spent on the premiums, we're going to roll them into the purses, and that's why we're starting with a $25,000 win super late model event.
Yeah, absolutely, and the drivers, the feedback that you guys got from the drivers on that was absolutely incredible. As you see Cale Murphy there on the Speedway in the 25, but the feedback was positive, and again, obviously, it is just added even more to this event, right? With that Penske Shocks 25 to 25, bookending this event with $25,000 to win races. And by the way, I want to send a big shout out to another one of our new sponsors, and that's Woodlands Auto Display. They're going to be a sponsor of our track prep sessions this year.
And the car show tomorrow.
And the car show tomorrow, exactly. Always great to have new sponsors on board. So I want to say a big thank you to the folks at Woodlands Auto Display out there in California.
You see Jake Smith, former WISSOTA national champion, the Midwest Mod division on your screen. He's going to be racing with us through the weekend. Didn't have him with us last year in the Corbett Trucking 21 car. Good to have him back. And we talked about Christy Barnett, a big year again last year, another super truck title and another double-digit win season for her. The 562 of Craig Walker was in that set out of Roswell, New Mexico. The 115 of Arizona's Bodie Parker, the Mid-State Racing Engine race car. You see Christy Barnett heading back to the pit area. She's going to pull double duty this week between the mods and the X-Mods. And her husband, Sherman Barnett, the ageless one, he'll be in action in the X-Mods as well in the 82.
Yeah, Christy Barnett, 12 wins last year. 3 of them came in the X-Mods, 9 super truck wins.
She won all but 1 super truck feature.
Yeah, well, she won all 10 of them the year before.
Yeah, come on, Christy, get it together. Come on.
That's right. She is a little bit of a debate, but I think that we've got it clarified. She was the X-Mod champion here in 2024 as well, I think.
I'm still working on getting to the bottom. There's some conflicting information.
Came down to her and Donovan Flores. Here's one thing that we do know to be true, though. We got another session of Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model Hot Laps presented by Black Diamond Race Cars, pulling out on the Speedway, and they're going to be led out by a 2-time Comp Cam Super Dirt Series champ. That's Kyle Beard in the 86 out of Truman, Arkansas. He's become a mainstay at this event, and he'll be followed by the driver that won 4 late model features here last year. He was a 38-time winner over the course of the entire season. That's going to be the smooth operator, Bobby Pierce, and that Low Voltage Solutions. Churchill Transportation, Collins Brothers Towing, Rio Grande Waste Services, Mesilla Valley Transportation, Carnegie Towing, Fast One Speed Shop, Toyota of Danville, number 32.
Behind him in the 28, Jimmy Whistler won win a year ago. They came in Cottage Grove, Oregon for the Otis Oregon driver, and the Rocket XR1 number 28, Vic Hill Power under the hood. Joining him on the Speedway, last year's World of Outlaws Late Model Series Rookie of the Year, Dustin Sorensen in car number 19, the heavy hitch, Sorensen and Sorensen Painting, J&S JCB, Pro Power Racing Engine, Longhorn race car. 5 wins last year, 3 in the late model, 2 in the mod.
Those drivers make their way down the front straightaway as they come up to speed. Here, there's Bobby Pearson, the 32. Some other drivers on the racetrack. We'll just let you know a few of the other ones that are out there behind BP 32, the 6 of Jake Neal. We talked about him. Tony Jackson Jr. out on the Speedway in the 56. Tomas Hunziker in the 38. And I want to give a big shout out to Tomas and Jen Hunziker because A1 Roofing, Ben, is going to be sponsoring something really cool here on Wednesday night.
Yeah, AM1 Roofing is going to be sponsoring free night on Wednesday, free grandstand admission on Wednesday, something new that we wanted to try. I think we're going to grow in future years for the Wednesday show, and we'll be talking more about that. Also want to talk about rolling down the back straightaway off into turn 3, Dylan McCowan. He's going to be a World of Outlaw Late Model Series Rookie of the Year contender this year. Grandfather passed away over the weekend, and they had the funeral on Wednesday, and the team headed out. Heavy hearts, but I tell you what, Dylan, Charlie, Mindy, the entire gang, love the McCowan family. Glad to have them back with us at the Wild West Shootout. The Scott Bailey-powered Longhorn, the Sonic, Pomeroy Services, Empire Energy, VLC Transportation number 8.
Absolutely. There's a good look at Tyler Erb, the Best Performance Motorsports number 1. You talk about the season he had a year ago, Ben, 19 wins, a Summer Nationals championship, and I think Turbo in 2025, you're going to see him do a little bit of the same. I think that he is going to...
Fun Tour number 2?
Yeah, Fun Tour 2.0, exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Well, checkered flag is going to drop on that set, and racetrack's starting to drop off just a little bit. I say drop off, it's just starting to clean up a little bit and not be as heavy. But right now we're seeing guys use every inch of this racetrack. And again, tomorrow, the Penske 50 presented by Schaefer, and it will be $25,000 to win, $1,000 to start for the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars. And I would guesstimate probably about 130 cars in the pit area here tonight total. A little over 45 Super Late Models, and the mods and the X-Mods have continued to roll in, and these guys are really a staple of this event, and don't sleep on them. They put on a heck of a show. Yeah, and the first driver that just pulled out, I did not get his information. I'm guessing that's probably Ronnie Yanisek out of Amarillo. The MB was a white and blue 77. He's typically kind of a blue. I would say that's a safe blue, guess. Yellow, orange. Yeah, absolutely. How about the guy behind him, though? Middle of the back straightaway, and after a year and a half, he's back. Bumper Jones in the 111, new Bloodline race car for the driver out of Mesilla Park, New Mexico. The McDonald's Mesilla Valley Transportation 111. There's Bumper, a Stowen Racing engine under the hood. Great looking race car. I think maybe once again we got a mix of Mesilla Valley Transportation Border Tire Modifieds and Shocker Hitch X mods out there in the Speedway. I see Donovan Flores out there in the 07, who is an X mod, and I also see the 65. I think that's Dustin Smith, if I'm not mistaken, who's also an X mod. We had Kel Murphy out there. We got Rodney Sanders out there in the 420, and the test car for the MB Customs Camp, if you will. Great looking race car, a little Western Graphics theme on it. Tyler Davis out there, man, that car looks good. His cars just always look so good. Tyler Davis out of Hayesville, Kansas. How about the new chassis that those guys have been developing? And the 65 car, the Blackout Motorsports chassis, working with Rick Beebe on those. The bomb chassis, if you will. The bomb chassis, that's exactly right. Yeah, two-time USRA national champion. There's another good-looking race car as well, man. Troy Gemmel, the Oklahoma driver in the 721, the Yes Finance, localloangroup.com sponsored entry. There's Tyler Davis. We just talked about him. Yep. So getting some laps on the Speedway, getting her dialed in right now. And again, this practice here tonight, it's about 7:25 now. It'll go until 9 o'clock local time, and then they'll go back there, tweak on them, get them ready for tomorrow. Get a complete show tomorrow for the Super Late Models, the mods, and the X mods. And again on Sunday as well, 6 rounds of action. WildWestShootout.net for all of the information on the events, start times, updates, payouts, how much it is to get in. And you can keep track of that. Also, check out our social media channels. And again, FloRacing, man, it is a red-hot time at FloRacing. It's championship day tomorrow from the Tulsa Shootout, where they just had an obscene amount of race cars entered there this year. Yeah, 8 bajillion. And again, all of that and more with your FloRacing subscription. One FloRacing subscription is a cover-all, man. You don't have to pay extra to get additional races or marquee events or anything else. We talked about them earlier. The Chili Bowl is coming up. The entire Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series season, the World 100, the Dirt Late Model Dream, USAC Sprints, the All-Star Sprints are back, High Limit Racing, Mars Late Models, and more. All of that at FloRacing, as there is Blake Adams leading out the next group of drivers in the X mods. Blake Anderson, Blake Adams out there. Sean Miller in the 12MB makes his way back out. Duke Erickson and the John Wayne inspired. I love it. Right? I love it. Duke Erickson told me his name inspired by the Duke. That's yes. Yep. That's Duke exactly Erickson's right. John Wayne inspired by him. He's got a special helmet for the weekend. These guys are going after this Dirt Pro Contractors Best in Show, and There you see the Duke on the side of that. John Wayne, the 57, and a big year again last year for Duke Erickson. Picked up track titles, several wins. Came here in the mod last year, and the X Mod's here this year, and he's in car 57. Jeremy Lecoe behind him, the Arkansas driver, in car 75. And a little bit of a hold up, get some cars off the speedway. I believe maybe Ronnie Yanisek having some trouble at the top of turn number 3. So we're going to go live for a few more minutes before we wrap up this teaser tonight of the practice from the opening round of the 19th annual Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by Riley Auto Parts. And again, all from here at FK Rod End's Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions. My producer's harassing me, Meyer. Leave me alone, Tiffany. Jeremy Lecoe on your screen in car 75. And I tell you what, DJ, I think it's fair. We started just a minute late. We'll go just a couple minutes late, and we'll wrap things up here tonight.
We didn't start late, but we will give the
Christmas comes late, because there was Christmas in every music in every damn airport I was in yesterday.
Yeah, you and me both, yeah. So I was actually, that was me talking to producer Tiffany while you were talking to the kind folks at home there. And we're going to stay through this hot lap session. We'll go through the next late model hot lap session. So the next time the Dirt Track Bank Super Late Models presented by Black Diamond Race Cars are on the track, that'll be our final hot lap session as we continue this time-honored tradition here at the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts, and giving you a free preview, a live look in at practice here this evening.
Well, we had a brief Midwest sheet metal caution on the speedway. Also had Chris Simpson. He just texted me. He's calling Brandon Shepard for the win tomorrow.
Oh. I'm
going to call him out because it wasn't that long ago. Jeff Hoker told me he thought Simpson was coming back this year.
Come on, Simpson.
So if you know Chris Simpson, shame him, people. Send him texts right now. Send him emails, Facebook messages, and go, Chris Simpson, you should have been at the Wild West Shootout.
Chris, I'll tell you what, Ben Shelton actually just told me that he would foot part of your bill to come out here. So if you want to save your gas receipts, turn them into Ben Shelton. That's msrmafia@gmail.com. Then he will, Ben will take care of that for you, Chris.
Hey, man, if he takes checks, we can work something out here as long as he doesn't take them to the bank.
Listen, the only reason I say that is because I got a text from Tanner Mullins the other day.
That you still owe money to.
Yeah. Well, he told me that he wasn't going to be able to make it out this year because he's just business, got a lot of things going on.
Building race cars, man.
And he said, oh, by the way, he said, you still owe me gas money from 2020. So shame on you for that old joke there, Ben.
I do think he meant it. Also saw a minute ago, as you see Duke Erickson on your screen racing with John Miller, we saw Devin Fouquet. Been a while since we've seen the Fouquets here at the Wild West Shootout. Yep. Devin's going to race with us through the weekend.
There he is.
There's Devin. And so we have a 515. There's Devin Fouquet, right side of your screen. Then we also have a 115 for Bodie Parker. And I mean, how could you possibly get these guys confused?
And both of them are blue and white race cars.
What could go wrong? Because, again, we don't struggle enough. Nate Reinke in that set. Who else did we have out there?
I don't know who else was in that set, but to a point that you made, that you and I were talking about, but you made in the pits earlier, man, this Shocker Hitch X Mod division is just completely wide open this year, I think. You got some of the usual suspects. Is that Mingo
Howdy G in the 47?
I think it might be. It's either Mingo Howdy G or we didn't have Connor Williams sneak in, did we?
I don't think so. He's 47cc anyway. I think that might be Mingo.
Let's go.
Former track champion here. All right, here's what we're going to do. Tiffany, you're down in the trailer. It's past 7:30 local. We're going to roll through this set of Dirt Track Bank Super Late Model hot laps, and then we're going to call it a night here with practice. DJs, does that sound fair to you?
Absolutely, and that was what I mentioned to the folks at home just before as well. So, again, we will have every lap of every single race here all week long. The 6-race mini-series live on FloRacing. For those of you that are watching at home, you're watching this free preview. If you're not a FloRacing subscriber, now is the time to buy FloRacing. Again, go to FloRacing.com. It is the best $150 that you'll spend. You get to watch the entire, you get 1,000 races, over 1,000 races, like 1,400 races during the year. The Wild West Shootout, you get the Chili Bowl, you get the entire Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series season, the entire High Limit Racing season, you get the entire USAC season, the All-Star Sprints, the Mars Late Model Tour, you get weekly racing at tracks like Marshalltown and Port Royal, you get about a dozen races from Lincoln Speedway and tons of others. We've got great folks that work with us. Now's the time to subscribe. We appreciate you watching. And how about that, Ben? Another Wild West Shootout first-timer out of Waukesha, Wisconsin, Mitch McGrath joining us here this week.
He's been here. It's been a minute, but he's been here. But okay. Yeah, he's here
first,
at the Culver's.
First time at Vado. First time at Vado, my bad.
The Culver's number 74 out on the Speedway. Great-looking race car, too. Had to do a double take on that one in the pit area. as we're going to get them wound up. And one final wave of Dirt Draft Hot Laps here tonight before the free preview wraps up. And I'll tell you what, DJ, if this track we've seen tonight is anything we're going to see tomorrow, it's going to be a heck of a way to start the party in the desert.
Well, three things in life are certain, right? Death, taxes, and great racing at FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park, man. I mean, this place is just, this is our 4th year here, and it's been, I mean, just absolute tremendous racing night after night since we've been here.
Preston Luckman on your screen. I love that we've got Ross Bells. We saw him a minute ago. Would he be the first South Carolina driver? I got to do some digging on that one. I don't know if we've had a South Carolina driver make it the tow over to a Wild West Shootout.
Oh,
we worked on Chris Madden forever. Still not done. Hey, Chris, your teammates out here and Drake Troutman, we'd really like to get you out here at some point. There's
Next year,
Chris.
Next year, Stephanie, tell him he's got to come out.
That's right. G.R. Smith, just give another fuel card to him. It's no big deal.
Absolutely.
DJ will help.
No.
Stormy Scott, and then the 2 car you saw on your screen. There's Jake Tim, man, that Gorilla Mill 49, just a great looking hot rod.
Yeah, it is. You know, and it's always a good looking car, right? It was a good looking car when it was just black and the light blue.
Yes,
and then they added
that
the
is sharp,
lime green. Now they got the gold, the glitter on the side of it. Man, that thing looks good. And Clay Stuckey, and I'm with you, man. After 3 wins a year ago, I think Clay Stuckey is going to have a really, really big 2025.
He's going to try to get it tuned up here this weekend. Talking to his dad real quick in the pit area, Ronnie Stuckey. Ronnie said it used to be you come to the Wild West Shootout, he had a few regional guys to beat. He said now it's spring training for a lot of these national stars. He goes, this is honestly, I told Clay, the best way to start a year for a team like ours, because you come out here and yeah, you may get your teeth kicked in a little bit, but when you go back home, you're ready to hit the ground running. And just like that, DJ, the checkered flag has dropped. So what does that mean?
That means we're going to step out of here. They're going to continue practice here this evening. We're stepping out for the free preview portion here. We're going to be right back in action tomorrow. 3 p.m. Mountain Time, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. If you don't know what the time zone you live in, Google.com is your friend. On behalf of Trenton Berry in the pit area, Ben Shelton up here in the booth, I'm Dustin Jarrett. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We'll be back right here tomorrow at FK Rodden's Vado Speedway Park, presented by Low Voltage Solutions, with the Rio Grande Waste Services Wild West Shootout, presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts.